Good morning and welcome to Cactv News this morning. I am Shegun White. First is the headlines this morning, and we start with the first story. Tribunal verdict on poll, Tinubu and Obi express confidence. Federal government appeals to NLC to cancel planned two-day warning strike. Students protest fee hike as DSS considers clampdown. Nigeria evaluating G20 invitation. No application to join BRICS, according to Ngelale. And also in sports, Panamanian footballer Hernandez tragically shot dead. And also, Eagles set to open camp on Wednesday. And right now, let's go into the news in full. The presidency last night expressed confidence that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu election will be upheld tomorrow by the Presidential Election Petition Court. Also yesterday, Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party in the February 25th election, expressed optimism that with the evidence they brought before the court, it would upturn the results declared by the INEC. The position of the president and the challenger came after the tribunal announced that judgment will be delivered tomorrow. The tribunal statement signed by the Chief Registrar of the Court of Appeal, Umar Bangari, reads, "The Court of Appeal wishes to inform the general public that judgments in the petitions before the Presidential Election Court will be delivered on Wednesday, September 6, 2023, in a bid to promote transparency and openness. These judgments will be televised by interested television stations for the public to follow. Access to the court premises will be strictly on accreditation. Only accredited individuals, including counsel and representatives of the political parties, will be granted access into the courtroom. Interested members of the public are advised to watch the proceedings from their television sets at home. We appeal for the maximum cooperation of the general public." That's according to the registrar. Not forgetting that in the election, Tinubu secured over 8 million votes, followed by Atiku, who got 6.9 million votes, and also Obi pulled a 6.1 million votes. The judges presiding over the Presidential Tribunal, I beg your pardon, are Justice Aruna Samani, Justice Stephen Ada, Justice Monsurat Bolaji Yusuf, Justice Moses Ugo, and Justice Abba Mohammed. Also in the news, federal government begs NLC to shelve planned 2 days warning strike. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, made the appeal on Monday, September 4th in Abuja. The minister promised to attend to the contending issues raised by the NLC holistically if given some time to settle into office. It noted that although the ministry was yet to get a notification of the planned strike as required by law from the NLC, the ministry will be having a meeting with the labor leaders by 3 p.m. today with a view to stopping the planned strike, while expressing worry that the planned action will reverse the gains already made. The minister, who promised never to take labor and Nigerian workers for granted, maintained that the federal government had already initiated some actions to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal and was willing to find solutions to the challenges confronting Nigerians as a result of his policies. He said it has become pertinent to appeal to the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress to suspend its intended 2-day warning strike, as such action would be detrimental to the gains already being recorded on our course to securing a greater future for Nigerian workers and citizens at large. Also in the news, students kicks as DSS threatens clampdown on protests. Students under the aegis of civil rights movement, Students Solidarity Group Against Fee Hike, have insisted that Nigerian students have constitutional rights to protest, while alleging plans by the Department of State Service to turn its protests, planned against the fee hike by schools slated for Wednesday, September 6, into an arena of violence and a theater of war. Speaking in an interview with a correspondent on Monday, one of the leaders of the coalition, Olorunfemi Adeyeye, said the DSS is notorious for lawlessness and an inclination to incite chaos. The DSS had, in a statement on Monday, accused Nigerian students planning a nationwide protest against exponential increment in their school fees of mobilizing for a violent protest. The secret police further alleged that it uncovered plans by the youth to stage violent protests to discredit the federal government and security agencies over. Intelligence reports have indicated that plotters include certain politicians who are desperately mobilizing unsuspecting student leaders, ethnic-based associations, youths, and disgruntled groups from the planned action. Meanwhile, the service has identified the ringleader of the plot as well as sustained monitoring around them in order to deter them from plunging the country into anarchy. Also in the news, according to the ongoing coup d'etat happening in Gabon, Nigeria expresses worry over Gabon junta's silence on handover date. The call was contained in a statement by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Francisca Omayuli. The ministry warned that the inauguration of General Brice Nguema as chairman of Gabon's ruling committee for the transition and restoration of institutions, CTRI, without a timeline for handover to a civilian government could worsen the growing discontent among the country's political class. The statement reads, the federal government of Nigeria has observed with concern the unfolding political developments in the Republic of Gabon following the coup d'etat that ousted the administration of President Ali Bongo Ondimba on August 30th, 2023. The inauguration of the Commandant-in-Chief of the Gabonese Republican Guard, General Brice Oligui Nguema, as chairman of the ruling committee for the transition and restoration of institutions on Monday, 4th September 2023, with no indication of a transition program in place, only serves to fan the embers of growing discontent among the political class in the country. Nigeria therefore joins the larger international community to call for the immediate return to democratic constitutional order, which will go a long way to pacify dissident voices and restore trust and confidence to the electorate. And also in the news, we have the G20 summits calling on the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to woo foreign investors into the country's economy. Member groups of the organized private sector of Nigeria have told President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to seize the occasion of G20 summit, I beg your pardon, holding in India to woo foreign investors to the country. This came as a leaders from the group of 20 economic meets in India capital this week to find solution to some of the world's pressing problems. The OPS, in separate interviews, said the president must take advantage of the G20 platform to sell investment opportunities in Nigeria to the international community. Speaking with a correspondent, the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Ajayi Kadri, noted that while it was more important for the president to address the harsh business environment in the country before looking to woo investors, the G20 summit presents an opportunity to sell the investment potentials to Nigeria's economy. Also in the news, The House of Reps summons 6 MDAs. The ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives on the disposal of public property on Monday commenced investigation into the Federal Ministry of Water Resources over its disposal of assets belonging to 12 River Basin Development Authority in 2018. This came as the committee summoned 6 key agencies to appear before it to clarify the role they played in the sale of public assets at their disposal. The invited agencies are the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, the Nigerian Customs Service, Anambra and Imo River Basin Development Authority, Osun River Development Authority, and the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. The managing director of the River Basin Development Authority, who showed up before the committee on Monday, said the Ministry of Water Resources took charge of the disposal of the property because the agency had no governing boards in 2018. We'll go for a short break right now, and when we come back, we'll be bringing you news in sports and business. Please don't go away. Welcome back. In sports, Panama footballer Hernandez was shot dead. It's a tragic story. Panama international defender Gilberto Hernandez was shot dead by unidentified gunmen in the Caribbean city of Cologne, police confirmed on Monday. Hernandez, who won 2 caps for Panama in March this year, including a friendly against Lionel Messi's Argentina, died Sunday after shots were fired from a passing car. 6 others were injured in the shooting. Crimes rate in Cologne, around 50 miles, 80 kilometers north of Panama City, surged in what authorities attribute to fighting between rival drug gangs. Hernandez, 26-year-old player for Panama side club Atlético Independiente, was confirmed dead on Sunday. And also, Eagles open camp on Wednesday. The Super Eagles came for the 2023 Africa Cup qualifying game against Sao Tome and Principe. Will open in Uyo on Wednesday. According to reports, the Eagles play the Selecao at the Goswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Sunday, September 10, in a dead rubber game. Jose Posero's side head into the game with their place at the AFCON in Ivory Coast next year already guaranteed, with 12 points after beating Sierra Leone 3-2 in June. The Super Eagles coach had on Sunday named a 23-man squad for the encounter, but had Alex Iwobi put out due to injury. There were, however, invitations for debutants, for new fresh blood into the Super Eagles with the name Gift Orban, Victor Boniface, and Jordan Torunariga. Boniface's invitation comes after he scored a brace for Bayer Leverkusen 5-1 win over Darmstadt at the Bay Arena on Saturday. Orban has enjoyed a bright start to the new season, scoring 6 goals in 9 appearances for the Belgian club Gent, while his club teammate Torunariga, who plays as a centre-back, has been in fine form as well and has scored a goal and registered another assist in 10 games. Babafemi Raji confirmed that the players were expected to resume camp on Wednesday. He said, and I quote, "The camp opens on Wednesday and we'll be expecting most of the players in camp on that day, as they've been able to travel on Monday and Tuesday. We are expecting a full house from day one. We will keep updating the media about the team's progress as well as plans for the pre-match conference. Also in sports, the MPFL to introduce VAR. That is interesting, and this is coming from the NRA president of the Nigerian Referee Association, Sani Zubar, as Intel plans are going to deploy video assistant referees in the Nigerian Professional League from incoming 2023 and 2024 season. According to reports, the new season kicks off on Saturday with the opening fixtures between 3SC and Plateau United in Ibadan. Zubar noted that the introduction of VAR will further enhance the performance of the referees, even now that most of the matches in the league will be streamed with newly procured AI cameras. He said, and I quote, "There are talks around it. We thought we would have it this time around, but maybe before the start of the league or when the league is on. I know they are working towards it, and we are aware of that, and since we are going to be having our matches streamed live." During the elective congress of the NRA, which produced Zubar as the president of the body in April, the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Guzau, announced that the body will build VAR in selected regional stadiums across the country. A proposal the NRA is already anticipating its implementation. Football is now being played with technology. We must know and move with the pace of the world as well. If the NFF provides VARs in some centers, it will help the performance of our referees as well. NRA president quote, "On our own, according to our plans, we will ensure the adequate training of our referees to meet up with the best global practices." Also, in sports, also in preparing for the African Nations Cup, Onana recalled as Cameroon fight for Cup of Nations survival. Cameroon have recalled Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana for a crucial African Cup of Nations clash against Burundi, with the final match day of qualifying kicking off on Wednesday. He was suspended and sent home after playing for the Indomitable Lions, I beg your pardon, in their opening 2022 World Cup match against Switzerland, following a tactical disagreement with coach Rogebert Song. But with Cameroon needing a win to be certain of qualifying for the 2023 Nations Cup in the Ivory Coast, Song has convinced Onana to come out of self-imposed international retirement. Title holders Senegal are among 15 countries to qualify for the biennial African Showpiece, and 9 more places are up for grabs during the 7-day final round. And with that, we come to the end of today's news this morning. We hope you enjoyed our news today. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channels on social media, on Facebook Cactv, and on YouTube Cactv. Until I come your way next time with juicy news and top news from around the world, I remain your host, Shegun.